Steve Gamache here with another Chef Knives to Go quick look product review, and this time we're looking at the Yahiko, and this particular series is the AUS or AUS-8, possibly 8A Gyuto 240mm knife. So the steel on this, it's actually a mono steel construction, so it's not really the core steel, it is the steel for the whole knife. There's no layers or cladding, but it is either AUS-8 or AUS-8, possibly 8A, full stainless steel. Little unusual for use in this style of knife, but it's used a lot in hunting survival knives quite effectively in various other applications. It's known to be a tough steel, depending on, of course, how you heat treat it. I don't know the exact heat treat on this, but I'm going to guess it's in the 58, 59, possibly 60 range. I would say 59 is probably more likely. So again, construction is mono steel. It's one piece of steel that's probably laser cut, and then it's ground to shape. The weight and dimension should be pretty similar from knife to knife on this line. So this is about 233 grams or 8.2 ounces. So it's got a little heft to it, given the full tang handle. The edge length is right about 242 millimeters or 9.5 inches. Overall length is about, let's say 370 millimeters or 14.5 inches. Spine thickness, fairly thin knife. Pretty much very similar throughout, about 2.2 millimeters at the back. And then I measured about 2 millimeters about halfway down. And it does kind of start to thin out a little bit, and you can start to see that. But then you've got a fairly decent taper in the last 1.5 inches or so, and the tip gets pretty thin. Not quite as thin as on the Santoku or the 210 Gyuto, but it's thin enough to do a very nice job. They've also thinned these out nice at the edge, so the performance is very, very good on this line of knives. So definitely on the performance end of things. Blade height is 48.6, so just a nice kind of average height for this style of blade. Handle is black pack of wood, stabilized wood product with very nice fit and finish, really smooth on the rivets, the full tang, the bolster. Nice job on that. The fit and finish on the actual blade part, they've got a nice machine finish on it. So let's get our beauty shot here. So you've got a machine finish, vertical sanding marks. You've got some etched kanji on the right side of the blade, as if you'd be holding it. Left side of the blade is plain. They've finished off the spine just a little bit to relieve those corners of the flat spine. They haven't done too much with the choil back here, which is typical of a lot of these knives. So if it's objectionable to you and you use it a little bit, you could get some strips of sandpaper and do a shoe shine thing and clean that up probably in 10 minutes, 15 minutes max, and have that thing ready to go if you feel the need. Out-of-box sharpness was very, very good. 6, maybe 7 out of 10 on my scale, so very sharp out of the box. Nice job on the edge. I will say the edge bevel is fairly oriented towards right. It's thicker on the right side. Let's get our focus here. It's thicker on the right side of the blade. Trying to get my camera to do its thing here. There we go. So you've got a little bit wider bevel, edge bevel on the right side of the blade, and then the left side of the blade is a thinner bevel or a smaller bevel. I'm going to say it's probably 70-30 or 30-70. So if you're looking at left-right, 30%, 70% in terms of bevel. So these tended to steer for me just a little bit, being a left-hander. I don't think I would shy away from it if I was a left-hander. You could take the left side of the blade and grind it down a little more on the edge and bring that more towards the center line where the actual, point comes to on the edge. Geometry, if you wanted to probably relieve that. So I would think that would probably take care of it. Let's see. Balance point on this is pretty much just about where that choil is. I'd say the balance point is right about there. So it's got a little bit of heft to it. The blade actually has a fair amount of stiffness to it given the thinness of it. And let's look at the edge profile. This is just a good all-around knife line. Every knife in this line has been a pleasure to use. The performance is very, very good. Kind of makes me forget all about the steel if you're going to be a steel snob about it. Sorry, but some of us are. But if you're looking for a high value knife, maybe a gift, or to get somebody into Japanese knives, or you want something that, that you can use and not worry about it quite so much. These are thin at the edge, but The steel typically is fairly tough. Don't know how this implementation is. We haven't gotten a lot of feedback yet on it. But so here's our edge profile. So you'll see you get a little bit of belly towards the back here, and then you can get fairly high towards the front. Just kind of an average all-around profile. Not a lot of flat towards the back. Just kind of a gentle belly throughout. So pretty versatile profile. Not a huge chopper, but you could do a lot with that with different techniques. So just a nice solid knife, a solid line of knives. Very well done. Really nice performance. So this is the Yahiko AUS-8 or AUS-8 Gyuto 240mm knife.